Did y'all know they over in Mexico tearing white people's asses up right now? If you don't believe me, you can go look it up. But the Mexicans that are in Mexico are literally coming after people who are claiming to be nomads. You know, all those boomers who have now retired and are looking for a cheaper place to live with their retirement. They decided to go to Mexico and try to gentrify Mexico. And they said, no, sir, no, ma'am. The Mexican people are going through their cities where they've built all these places of shops and restaurants, and they are breaking everything. They are blaming this boomer generation and these digital nomads for the reasons why the price of living is going up.
This is a re-upload, remixed a little bit with some extra clips added because I had to get a certain person out of the video because she copyright struck me for the I got deported video. So I had to get her up out of the video. So I deleted her and I added a couple extra clips. I hope y'all all enjoy. 4th of July 2025, the residents of Mexico City sent a clear message to all the immigrants living in Mexico City. Now let's check it out and see exactly what it was. What it look like, TV?
I am back! What it do, baby?
YouTube's own Varnell Hill.
Did you miss me?
Your very own spokesman for the Insidians. We're inside and we're comfortable.
They're so comfortable.
And I'm back with another one. And y'all know I don't like to get political on this channel, but I touched the deported topic and I have to give you the other side of it now. I just can't give you our side and not give you the side that we're not going to get in America because surprisingly, this hasn't hit none of the major news outlets. But they done had a heck of a July 4th celebration down in Mexico City and they letting all the immigrants know directly what they think about them and how they feel about them. But before we get to the videos like this, we first gonna hear a couple of reasons and explanations on how they got exactly to this point.
Graffiti was not there yesterday.
But all of this is causing some backlash. You see graffiti like this that says fuera gringo, which means get out gringo.
Remote workers are flooding into Mexico City for long periods of time.
So many people are like nomadic workers now where it's like, oh, I'm gonna go live in Mexico City for 4 months and live at an Airbnb.
But there is backlash.
Prices have become so high that very few of us can actually afford to stay in this city.
Gentrification is sadly happening all across the country.
Por ejemplo, los extranjeros vienen a rentar ciertas ciudades o ciertas colonias de la Ciudad de México, pues si la gente de aquí se tiene que salir de sus casas.
I've seen people shouting at tourists.
The worst case is Mexico City.
This is how bad the gentrification in Ciudad de Mexico is truly getting. It's affecting how local businesses run their every day. Taquerias don't even make spicy salsas anymore. Because the US remote workers that move there don't like the spicy salsa. Taquerías are losing business.
Llegamos a recibir algunos comentarios de su parte, sí, de que nos comentan, no, pues la verdad sí pica bastante, o nos llegan a regresar hasta el taco porque nos dicen, no, es que sí me picó.
Local panaderías are being shut down in order to make way for modern workspaces. And locals are being turned down from jobs if they can't speak English to serve the US remote workers. And whenever I talk about this, certain people always leave the comment of, well, that's what Mexican immigrants do in the US. But that could not be furthest from the truth. There's a big difference between crossing borders, working difficult manual labor jobs so that your children can have a better future and better opportunities, and using your US-based job to take advantage of a country with a poor economy because it's so cheap to live there for you.
I'm not even going front. I would be mad about the spicy salsa too, man. I would be mad about the spicy salsa. But it's a bunch of these videos online, and some of them are just explaining how they got here. And it's a whole bunch of videos of people that are just mad at Americans, and they're not mincing words. They're not making it seem like it's something it isn't. They're mad at Americans, and they're letting Americans know about themselves.
I have a message for American people living in Mexico everywhere, so bear with me. You fled the crumbling heart of your own country, raising fascism, collapsing ecosystems, unaffordable cities, and landed here, right in the middle of ours. But instead of solidarity, you brought Airbnbs, rising rents, $8 lattes, and the arrogance of speaking English louder when we don't understand you. While your home burns, you gentrify ours. Mexico is not your escape plan. It's not a cheaper version of Brooklyn. It's not here for your healing or your remote job fantasy. It's a living, breathing place with people who are being pushed out of their neighborhoods. Mexico, it's not a budget utopia, and it's not your free hideout, while the empire you benefit from turns to ash. If you had any decency left, if you cared for justice, you'd be fighting it at home, not running from it. You'd be organizing, resisting, and reclaiming what is yours, instead of gleefully colonizing what is ours. So, while you're together in your cookout celebrating 4th of July abroad, here's a thought. Go back, fix your country, and stop destroying mine.
The one thing that I have to say that I have learned from both these videos, the takeaway that I'm taking from both of these videos is that it's a lot of people mad at people for things that they are not in control of. The Americans down there are not in control of the rising prices. The fact that everybody down there wants to gouge the Americans' pockets, that's what's responsible. You can't be mad at people that other people are trying to take advantage of them every time they turn. The Americans have nothing to do with that. But y'all mad at the Americans, and y'all should be mad at your government. And pretty much over here is pretty much the same situation. These rules have been so fishy and changed every president and been all over the place for so long that we're a whole bunch of people over here are mad at the Mexicans, but they just been playing by the system that's been set up for them, and the system that's set up has been horrible. So what I see is the main culprit all over the place is both of these governments. We are in 2025. I don't care what side of the argument you fall on. It should not take no 7 to 14 years to get any paperwork completed. We are in a day and age of computers. 7 to 14 years is like you got to paper stamp everything and send it through the mail. Like the processes are broken. And right now I see that the people at the top of the totem pole, they got to be doing the Birdman handshake right now. They got to be sitting back like this because we are all focused on each other and not focused on the people at the top that right now is getting over like a fat rat because we're too busy bottom feeding and bickering with each other. Side note to prove my point. I think it was either the 5th or the 6th July 2025. They just put out some letter from the DOJ that is no Epstein list. They did that real quietly. While we arguing over the bill and Mexicans, it's a whole bunch of nasty people about to skate free. This is the smoke screen, y'all. But when they are speaking of this gentrification that they keep bringing up over and over in these clips, what exactly are they talking about? I'm gonna show you what exactly they're talking about. And if you bring this to an area where people are struggling, I could pretty much see how they'll get tired of this real fast.
I'm Amy, I'm Canadian, but I live in Mexico. People always ask me if I work. I do work, and I'm going to take you along today for a regular work day in my life.
First things first, walked into town to grab coffee before heading over to yoga. Lilo comes with me everywhere. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I always do hatha class with my guru and yoga teacher, Enrique. He also brings his 3 dogs, by the way. I just cannot imagine practicing yoga at a studio that wouldn't let me bring my dog. What do you mean? I would just have to leave Lilo at home? That would be horrible. Yoga every morning is a non-negotiable for me, and this morning my friend Dasha met me, so that was a really lovely way to start the day with my friend, and then we went and got brunch after. At brunch, we did work, we talked business strategy, and of course we yapped about life as well. And after brunch, I headed to Alchemy's house, which is a co-working space that also has a sauna and ice bath. Of course, Lilo comes as well. And this is when we really got into the grind work. I was there from 12 till 4 and worked the whole time. I usually sauna and ice bath, but I honestly just didn't have time today, so I just enjoyed the good vibes. It's such a productive atmosphere for me. I feel like getting 5 hours of work done there is like an entire week's worth of work, to be honest. Lila was so happy to see me after, so I took her down to the beach where our friends were playing some paddle tennis. I'm not really sure what that is. Came home and showered and then sat in bed and did a little bit of more work. Made dinner, just pesto pasta, because I had more work to do, and then I made some ice cream with the Ninja Creamy. I've been loving this thing so much. Work-wise, I have a brand called Save Our Surf, and then I also have a travel company for girls called Dream Life Trips, and we have a retreat starting on Sunday, and then I also have a huge drop for Save Our Surf coming up, so I've just been doing back-end work for both of those companies. And that's my version of a very hard, long work day. Good night, guys. Love you. Bye.
She wasn't American, she was Canadian, but I'm starting to get the impression that a lot of people around the world feels like that's what an American is like. And let me be the first person to tell everybody out there that's watching this video that is not an American. I'm pretty sure 85 to probably 90% of Americans cannot relate to anything that she was saying in that video. 80 to 90% of Americans don't want to do anything that she was doing in that video. She doesn't represent American culture or Canadian culture. I can speak for the Canadians on this one. So a lot of people out there, I think your viewpoints of Americans is a little bit off because we don't even like her. Respectfully, man, respectfully. But we fighting against that America, that American in America. They over here gentrifying everything too. They just taking the show on the road.
One thing I love about Mexico City is the people here are always just doing things. I feel like being in New York, I don't even enjoy my own city. Like, I don't go do the New York things. But now I'm in Parque Chapultepec, and like, there's so many locals like boating in the water thing. I don't forget what it's called. My friends are always going to some market, some comedy shows, some event, museum, just like enjoying their own city. Like at every tourist thing, I see so many locals. Is this actually a cultural difference though, or am I just like kind of a loser?
Es la Cuauhtémoc.
Estamos en la alcaldía Cuauhtémoc.
Por Parque La España.
Gentrification in Mexico got unhomed U.S. citizens in Mexico City. The U.S. needs to do something about this.
So this right here, this is what gentrification in Mexico is looking like. This is a homeless American woman yelling at the cars that are driving by in Mexico City. This is unacceptable, and Mexico needs to start deporting homeless U.S. citizens. This cannot be happening. The U.S. government needs to do something. The embassy needs to get involved and get these people out of Mexico. They need to get help at home. They need to be sent back to the U.S. and receive medical attention, some type of mental health attention. But this can't continue to happen. Mexico is dealing with record high rent prices, home prices. U.S. citizens are moving over there and making U.S. dollars and making the economy worse for the local people, taking land from the native indigenous people, not hiring native indigenous people at their resorts, creating all white European American communities, segregated communities of white Americans only in Jalisco. That shit needs to stop. This is crazy.
Let's get to exactly what went on 4th of July, Independence Day in Mexico City on 2025, the message that they were sending to the immigrants.
These protesters in Mexico City say cross-border migration is changing their country's capital for the worse. Over the last decade, an influx of mostly American so-called digital nomads have moved here to work remotely and also enjoy a cheaper cost of living. Protesters say the newcomers have driven up rents beyond the reach of locals.
If they're going to live in a country, they have to contribute to that country. The first and simplest issue is legal migration. They come here with visas or no visas, and still the change in purchasing power generates these problems of gentrification and displacement.
I'm here because gentrification is just one more step towards colonization, dispossession, and the exploitation of our resources. Right now it's about the people, but it won't be long before they run out of oil, water, or lithium in other countries and come and take them from us.
Many Americans in Mexico are able to still receive high salaries in dollars from U.S. companies by working on laptops from their apartments.
The government is directing its public policies towards people with higher purchasing power, often illegally displacing local populations who have lived in these neighborhoods for 40, 50, and we have even documented cases of up to 60 years. In 5 years, rents have increased by 47%. This is violent for the local population. We are debating whether to pay for electricity, water, or food. Of course, we choose to eat.
Some activists blame Mexico's government for encouraging them. However, there's no simple fix. Imposing tougher visa restrictions on Americans could worsen relations with the U.S. Mexican citizens in the U.S. also send billions of dollars in remittances back to their families in Mexico. In a world where travel and communication are faster and easier than ever, these two nations are finding it harder to have neighborly relations.
No hay paso, es una protesta. Es una protesta, tenemos derecho a protestar. Regresen, regresen.
Well, there you go. 4th of July, 2025 down in Mexico City. That was the festivities. Hit me up in the comments section and let me know how you feel about everything you just witnessed. Like I said, I showed you the other side of the conversation, and I haven't seen this being explained or shown in any of the news on our side of the border. So I think this is an important piece of the whole puzzle. You know what I mean? To kind of frame this whole immigration argument a little bit more clear for people, that it's not just happening in America. They're having these same conversations in Mexico, and I bet they're having the same conversations in other countries around the world. So like I said, hit me up in the comments section. Let me know how you feel about everything you just witnessed.
Tell me how you felt about what just happened there.
And if you done made it to this point in the video, you are my MVP.
It was a stone groove, my man.
I'm out of here.